online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Music maestro. Yeah, there we go. It is National Dog Day. So happy National Dog Day to all the doggies and puppies and pet doggy owners out there. Kevin John is letting his real true self come out.
I'm leaving early. Bowed.
We are here doing America's Got Talent after show for AFTERBUZZ TV, and it is the semi-finals. We've got 12 acts to go through, and we are going to get to them. I am Kaori Takee, and joining me, as always, I've got Kevin John over there.
Yo, bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
And next to you.
Hi, I'm Daniel Takee. Nice to see all of you again.
No, we do not share the same last name.
Did you guys elope over the weekend?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that didn't happen. I would elope with my female dog first before Dan.
Ooh, so in other words, she said she would love
Feelings
her.
are mutual, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is true. Yeah. All right, so let's get to these 12 acts. But before we do that, overall thoughts, because I know we have some overall thoughts. I'll go first. For the most part, these acts weren't that great for me. A lot of them were, it's a lot of redundancy, a lot of singing, a little bit of magicians and comedians here and there that kind of lit that up. But overall, it wasn't my favorite talent showcase tonight. You guys.
In the past seasons, I always felt like there was every episode, even getting down to now, the semifinals, there were at least 2 or 3 people that I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see them next week. I can't wait to see this. And there's nobody like that. I feel like there's nobody that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see them.
But you know what? They still have a chance. We've got 3 weeks left after this. They might suddenly wow us at the finals. So
I just, like you said, I felt like it was 80% singers, 10% dancers. I don't care.
Oh, well, have some faith.
No, I don't care about singers in this competition right now because there's nobody that I feel is just outstanding.
Yeah.
Kevin.
You know, I don't want to echo what you guys just both said.
Okay, great. Moving on.
So, I'll just reiterate the fact that I think all the acts are okay. I mean, I don't think the acts are horrible. I don't think I would even say the acts are below average. I would just say they're average, okay acts, you know? And kind of like Daniel said, last season, there was always artists I was looking forward to. Like, oh my God, I can't wait. The anticipation is building. Yeah. I can't wait to see Kenichi or Forte or, this person. There were so many great acts last season, but I think this season is lacking that great act. I mean, other than Sons of Serendip, I don't really see.
Yeah, and think about your favorite act of the night. Think because we're going to predict which one you think will go through. Okay, so let's first talk about Flight Crew Jump Rope, because basically they're a group that jumps rope, and they do have some pretty cool moves. But overall, I kind of wasn't too engaged by this personally, and I apologize to the viewers and the listeners that loved this act, but I wasn't a fan myself.
You don't have to apologize. It's your opinion.
I know.
I agree with you. I thought it was boring. I didn't think that they did anything that I hadn't seen them do before. Yeah, it was the same act again, and same thing. And Kevin, it was almost like you weren't even there, like. Yeah, no, seriously, like I was watching it, and I was just like, I was not impressed. There was a few points in their actual shtick where I was like, okay, I can see them working with something, but overall, I was not impressed. It was kind of like I wasn't there because I practically was not there when they were doing it. I was, just wasn't mentally present. Right. How generic of you. Okay.
Well, let's move on already to Mara Justine. She's a young girl. She sings Kelly Clarkson's Breakaway, which is actually a really difficult song to sing to because Kelly Clarkson has such amazing vocals. I love Kelly Clarkson, and I think that Mara, for someone so young, her voice is just so powerful. Even someone more mature to have that kind of voice, it would be amazing. And I think she's great. She's a good singer. However, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, best singer ever. But she's young and she has potential to be a lot better. You boys.
Go ahead and take this, Daniel.
You don't want to go first, Kevin?
Yeah, you should go first.
Yeah, what do you think? But what was your... Okay, so you like the song, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, great song selection. I think she picked a very good
Which
song.
One?
And it was a song that I feel that was, you know, it was personal to her. Because that showed. I feel it showed in her performance. Like, she did a very good job of personalizing the song.
You know what? That's true. Wow, yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of amazing. So, yeah, I mean, I think she did a good job of personalizing the song. I do think there were... Yeah. She was a little nervous initially. Yes. And I think that was kind of a detriment to her overall performance. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Great song selection. Great stage presence. Just, you know, she was a little nervous initially.
Kevin's got talent. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
I love you.
All right. Aw, Daniel. The one who doesn't love me.
Yeah.
I think that you're cool.
Daniel doesn't love anybody.
That was like the nicest compliment Daniel has ever said to me. So I take it.
That's very true. Listen. I thought she was very good. I like Mara. Again, she's a singer, but this is one time where you can say that it's different because she's too young to be on some of the other shows, so you wouldn't be able to see her other than this. I thought she was very good.
I thought so too. And for someone that was, you know, having so much stage fright and to come out and sing that well, I was really impressed, and I was proud of her. Even though she doesn't know who I am, but yeah, I'm proud of you.
She might. You never know.
She's like AfterBuzz.
She watches the show every Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. Hi.
Hi, girl. Good
What's
luck
up,
to
Mar?
Okay, let's go to the next act. We've got Mel B's wild card, Bad Boys of. Oh my gosh, my iPad autocorrected Bad Boys of Valet. So I know it's not Valet, but it's Bad
They're
Boys
really
of
good at
something.
parking those cars. I just thought that the way they took those keys and then ran down the block, just fantastic.
Was Bad Boys of Ballet, Mel B's wild card. And recap, it basically has a Gwen Stefani lookalike dancing with a lot of men. Yeah. And that's not the problem. They're great dancers and everything, but I wasn't that engaged for this performance. And then the way that the girl kind of semi-retaliated against Howard Stern just turned me off completely. Like, I get it that she doesn't agree with Howard Stern's opinion, but she doesn't have to come off that way. She could have come off a little more PC. And for me, I don't like seeing people getting on a high horse for any reason. And that's all I've got to say about that act.
Well, at least she didn't come off PCP. That wouldn't have been good at all. But no, you know, the way I look at it is this. I hear you, what you're saying, Kaori, and I think you raised a very good point. However, I'm going to have to defend her on that because of the fact she was defending her team. Yeah. Howard essentially was saying, you guys are nothing. Okay, she's the group, she is the act, and your team is absolutely nothing. So don't leave the... I feel she was just standing up for her team. Like, look, you know, they put in the blood, sweat, and tears that I put in. We are an act together. They're just as talented as me. They're great dancers. And for you to isolate me from them and say that they're absolutely nothing, I felt that she had a right to stand up for herself. And
I totally agree with that. She should be standing up for them. However, I just feel like she has to work on her delivery because she doesn't have to come off harsh. There's a better way of doing that.
Thank you. And she needs to quit doing this after every word. Like,
yeah.
It's like, okay, that kind of just discredit what you said, you know.
But act wise, it was a decent act. And I think the boys were kind of more impressive than she was overall.
And can the boys please keep their shirts on? I don't want to see nipples every 5 seconds.
No, keep them off. What you talking about, Willis?
Corey, they're gay. They weren't into you anyway.
And then in the middle of nowhere, you're like, oh, where's that opera bikini singer? I'm like, what?
Don't we want to sing? Don't we want to see the bikini opera girl back? If you do the hashtag bikini opera, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I want
Because
Juan
someone's
Carlos
been
back.
doing it.
I have not actually. Someone told me about it.
What did you think?
I thought it was just dancing. It was
Okay,
they were
okay.
fine. It was nothing extraordinary. I don't think when you put them up with other dancers that there were anything great. And one of the things she said was don't overlook the backup dancers. The thing is, what's a backup dancer there for? To make the lead look good. So when she leaves, they're just dancing this
But
choreographed
I think
set.
they looked better than she did, honestly.
I
Yeah, I
don't
thought
think
they were pretty
anyone
good.
looked great.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that.
Just the whole thing, I just
You know what it looked
don't
like?
think overall it was great. Yes, what did it look like, Kevin?
Thank you for asking, Daniel. I will gladly answer.
So cute.
It looked like a performance on Holland America cruise ships. That's exactly what it looked like.
Because
It was-
you've been on that cruise ship
um,
with
I-
them.
I have, absolutely. I've been with all of them. Matter of fact, I was supposed to be in the dance, but
Hence why you're defending her.
exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
And would you have had your shirt off if you were in the show?
Oh, that goes without saying. But if I would have taken my shirt off, they probably would have, sent us donations and feed the children stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I would have got a sponsor adopted. So
my gosh.
maybe I will take my shirt off. We'll see.
I'm a little surprised that this act itself was Mel B's wild card. But yeah, all right. Next one, Paul Ieti? I'm
Aieti.
sorry. Okay.
Paul Ieti.
Paul Giamatti.
Singing a really good song, I know. Back to my pop boy stage. I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys. Unfortunately, he did not wow Daniel. He did not wow Kevin. He's a good singer. I can see him I could see me wanting him to be on my team if I was doing a karaoke contest. Right?
I want it that way.
And you guys did
Tell
a very
me
good
why.
job. And
No.
he has that military sob story and everything going for him. But I think at this level of the competition, you need more than that, and you also need more charisma at this point. I know they're all kind of amateurs, except for a couple, and we'll talk about that. But
I like that Howard finally said, take away your army background story. It wasn't a very good show tonight.
boom, yeah.
And I agree completely. He just wasn't on. It wasn't anything fantastic to me.
Yeah, I thought he was. I honestly I think he's an average singer. He's not a bad singer at all, but I think when you include his background and that kind of, I guess, elevates his status or his persona, and people feel more compelled to vote for him because of the backstory, which is impressive. Don't get me wrong. I think serving this country, that is a phenomenal
Yes.
thing. But unfortunately, I think that him serving kind of upstages his singing.
Sure.
And it should be the other way around.
That's a good point. That's a good
So-
point. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Howard Stern's wild card. Mike Super and Desmond. And tonight, Mike Super took Howard Stern's advice and took away Desmond. And first of all, in the past 4 acts, it was basically just as either a singer or a dancer. So for me, it was refreshing to have something different in the mix finally at the 5th act. And it was a nice change that there was no Desmond. He pulled a pretty cool trick. I enjoyed it. For me, it was finally for me his best act I've seen this season. His, not but his opinions.
I thought it was mediocre. I thought the most
Yeah, you thought you knew it all.
What?
You thought you knew how it
Well,
worked.
in the beginning, he had the camera come back and go, I have this camera here so that you know that I'm here. A, he could have filmed that at any point. 2, after that, the camera didn't go back there anymore. So there was a good 2 minutes where there was no camera back there. So what's the point of it? I just felt like he was gone for a while.
Yeah.
There was a long time that he wasn't back there. He was off on the other stage waiting
course,
to
but-
come out.
But
So
how
just as far
did
as
he do it? For me, I don't even know how he did it.
he just left.
Well, I know, but
They have a fake head up there and then they drop a lever and the head comes down.
well, call me a sucker for magic.
You're a
but I
sucker
liked
for
it.
magic.
I really like. I love
But
David
well,
Copperfield. I love
it's
all that
fine.
stuff.
But my thing is that it took too long, the setup. But the really cool part about it, I thought, was when he had all the audience put their hands up and they all had triangles on their hands.
Explain that,
cool.
Daniel. Explain that.
He went earlier and he put it all invisible ink on all of their armchairs. So when they put their hands on it, boom. I'm just kidding. I don't know how he did that. That's what I'm saying. That was cool. I agree. This was the best act I've seen him do.
Yes.
But I think overall, it was only okay. And I also think, and we could talk about it some more later because there was another magic act, but I think they sent home all the good magicians.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right.
The way that I judge a good magic act is simple. Can it be explained?
I just explained it.
Exactly. I'm going to explain further why I say that. If you could ask those two questions, in other words, can it be figured out? Can you explain how they did it? Then to me, that's a failed magic act. Okay. A magic act should leave you wondering, wow, how did they do that?
That's what happened to me, though.
Well, Kaori, we also know that you have a brain like Heidi Klum. So anyways, we have to continue. No, I was joking, Kaori. You know I'm joking. Yeah. You know I have nothing but love for you.
Okay.
Daniel's really the one that has the brain like that. So anyways, the fact that...
now I laugh. Okay.
See? I got you.
Watch yourself, Kevin.
That was creepy.
Watch yourself.
All right. Creep fest over.
So anyways, the fact that Daniel was just able to pretty much explain how he did the first half of that automatically kind of validates the fact that it wasn't all that impressive.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you weren't that impressed.
It was okay.
Okay.
The hands was cool. The hands was cool.
The hands were cool. Okay. See,
no, according to Kevin, the hands was cool.
I am smart.
The hands was cool.
Why are we speaking Ebonics?
Because you just were.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, like he's like, you just were.
Is it?
Suffering.
Oh, sorry, you just was.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Because I'm black. You have to.
Let's talk about Andre. Andre, the contortionist slash gymnast. I personally was not that attentive enough. I couldn't pay attention because it wasn't that great. I was distracted eating popcorn, to be honest with you. However, I don't know what it was, but all the judges stood up and they really loved it. And Mel B even points out that even though there were hiccups, you wouldn't even notice because this act was so phenomenal. What was I missing? So please tell me, or please inform me.
Well, if they knew that there were hiccups, how did they not notice it?
I mean, Mel B was said, there were hiccups, right? Well, they were so good. Your act was so good that I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice the hiccups I just pointed out.
I know, that's a little oxymoron, huh? But
in other words, you're saying the act was so good, even with the hiccups thrown in there, it didn't take away from it.
I get it. It's just a dumb...
Oh, now you smart.
Wow. Did you just call Mel B dumb, Daniel?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think Mel B is pretty bright. And
yes.
Well, if she wants to come and fight me, we'll see what happens.
She has been in the studio.
You just want an excuse to put your hands on her. That's all it is. So, anyways, I thought it was for a contortionist, for a gymnast, I think that's impressive. The way that I judge talent is it something that the average person can do. If it's no, then yeah, that is talent to a certain extent. Yeah. Was it blow your socks off? Was it remarkable? Was it phenomenal? Was it unprecedented? No. So it was just average.
It could be just the TV screen that just didn't really.
That's true. Sometimes watching it live
accentuate. Yeah. I mean, that's possibly what could have happened. Okay, let's talk about Miguel Dakota. I just noticed that they are really pushing for this singer here, this 21-year-old kid. Apparently, he sold out a show a couple weeks ago. That's pretty impressive. Like he comes.
Yeah, but it was at a Starbucks.
It wasn't at a Starbucks. It was like at a concert thing. But even if it was at a Starbucks, it'd be impressive. I couldn't sell out a show at a Starbucks, but
bring your bikini. You probably could.
I knew it was coming.
Anyway, so Miguel, I noticed that they're rooting for him so hard that they kept having all these close-ups of his face, and it was kind of distracting me from the singing. They kept panning to his face. He's a good-looking kid. He's a good singer, but he's so far, for me, from being anything unique. He's just a very generic One Direction band member type guy.
Yeah, I mean, and Kaori knows she's one of One Direction's biggest fans. She's president of the fan club.
She's a Liam girl.
I don't even know,
but I'm glad you do.
Sure you do.
I know you're a Harry Styles boy.
Oh, I don't know that.
Oh
I'm gonna know Harry Styles.
I had a 6th grade student today that told me Harry Styles was one of their. So, anyways, I had no idea. I was like, Harry, Harry Truman, the president. So, anyways, the thing that I look at with this guy is, yes, if you take away his quote unquote boyish, handsome looks that the girls like. Is it if this kid right here weighed 250 pounds and was 5'3", would people still look at him as this amazing singer, give him standing ovation? And at the end of the day, I don't think so. I think a lot of it has to do with his look. He looks like a young pop star. He's very marketable. He has a very marketable look, and he probably could sell in the actual recording industry as a result of that. Is he incredibly gifted or talented? Not necessarily, but. He has his looks going for him, and that's what's probably going to get him past to the next round.
Yeah. I think he's going to make it to the next round as well because of the teens and the moms, and he's got a decent sob story that's not too, oh, come on, But anyway, any thoughts on him?
I agree with both of you.
You just want to echo us? Cool. So let's talk about Sons of Serendip.
Okay,
I
Kevin.
think someone on this table wants to take it. Take the mic, yo. I said yo.
There comes a rare time in each season of America's Got Talent when an act comes to the stage and you know that they are capable of winning the prize. And inevitably, they can win the prize.
Well, yeah.
That moment was tonight with Sons of Serendip. I mean, absolutely flawless. You look at the performance, they play the harp, they play the cello, one is on the keys, one is singing.
They're musicians.
They are crisp. They are excellent musicians. They're not just musicians, Daniel. They are outstanding musicians. And they play, not just do they play well and perform well, but together they are absolutely impeccable. And I feel that they're constantly in cohesion with one another, and it's just such a melodic sound to it when you hear it. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I feel that they can be a top 3 this year.
I mean, out of all the singers, other than Emily West, but we will get to her, I do think that they are the most interesting as a package and engaging. And I like their rendition of the Swedish House Mafia song. I thought they were really good. They have a harp, which was quite impressive because we really haven't seen that in a while.
Thank you. Daniel, who plays the harp? Who plays the harp these days, Daniel? Name one person that plays the harp.
Harpists?
Well, we're talking about like
music, actual, contemporary musicians that use the harp.
It's not as off.
Exactly.
How many people take over countries?
All right.
Just because they don't do it anymore doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
I think Putin is trying to take over a country right now.
I hope that these guys will make it through. I just have a hunch that America is not behind them for some reason.
Here's what I'll say, and I'll give you this. I think that they're a 7 and a bunch of 4s.
Okay.
If 10 is the top, I think that they're a 7.
Who's the 7?
But everyone else is a 4.
Who's the 7?
Sons of Serendip, the group we were just talking about.
I thought you were talking about like one member in them.
No, I'm saying the entire group.
Okay.
They're probably one of the better acts tonight.
Sure.
But that's not saying much for me.
Okay.
I like them. I think they're entertaining. I'm not going to buy their album. I probably won't see them in concert unless Tone the Chief Rocka opens for them. I just felt that they're good, they're not great. And yes, if they were white, I would feel the same way, Kevin. Is that what you were going to ask me? Because you asked me last time.
I was going to ask, way to go racist with it.
You did. You said that last time.
What? Kids are watching.
So anyways, I'll ask you this. What if they said, Daniel, we will perform at your wedding for free?
No, thanks.
Oh, you are ridiculous.
That's BS, dude.
We have a great DJ who's going to play 80s music.
BS-y, dude.
Oh my gosh.
What if Tone the Chief Rocker said, I'll perform at your wedding for free?
I'll say I'll marry you.
Oh, my dear.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
I cannot sit next to this.
Good.
Come back.
No, we're good. I'm taking your car keys.
Let's talk about David and Lena.
You can't pull a Daniel. You cannot pull a Daniel.
Well, when you say something that absurd, then yes, I can.
All right, guys, let's talk about David and Lehman. Let's lighten up the tension here. All right, David and Lehman, magicians / comedians. This is a fun package because not only are they illusionists, but they also crack jokes. They basically have a spike hidden in one of these bags, A, B, C, D, E. Is it? Yeah, E, up to E. And they had tried to avoid getting spiked. I thought this act was fun. It was a little slow, but I was interested the whole entire time. And they also are pretty animated, and they work really well as a duo. I like them. I prefer them more than Mike Super. So between those two, I like them more, and I like this act. It was one of the better acts of the night. Okay. No silence here. Come on.
I'll say this. They had great showmanship.
Yes.
Their showmanship was outstanding. And that's what I will give them. I thought that was just phenomenal. Because I do believe that sometimes that is with magicians, that is kind of like a deciding factor on how good they are, is their showmanship. Magic is just part of it, but the showmanship is another thing. So the fact that they're able to encompass the showmanship is outstanding. Now, one of the things is I do believe the build-up took a little bit too long to get to the magic trick.
Okay.
But because they were so great showmanship, they kept it interesting and entertaining leading up to it. So, like, they were one of those exceptions where, like, okay, if you take a little bit longer to get to your trick, that's fine because you keep it entertaining. So, yeah, I mean, they were above average. I would give them a B.
Okay.
You know, B+.
All right. Someone's doing a rating scale through 10, and you're doing through the alphabet.
Alphabet, yeah. He's numerical, alphabetical.
All right. Numerical.
I agree. Their showmanship was much better tonight than they have been in other episodes, and I thought that was fun. The trick itself, I have seen variations of it many times.
I've never seen it.
Well, you just don't pay attention. Because other people have done it on this show.
As you
know, it's the same thing as when someone puts a knife in a bag and does the same thing, or in a spike in a box, whatever. It's been done before. Again, though, I can't tell you exactly how they do it, but I feel like at this stage, the trick itself is not good enough for the level they're at right now, but their showmanship was fun and fun to watch once they got it going. It was a little slow, but once they got it going, it was better. I just would like a better trick.
Okay.
Yeah, the trick was not original.
Okay.
That's for sure.
When they have shows now that are specifically magic shows, like Penn and Teller have a magic reality competition show. When there's lots of other bigger magic shows out there, to me that trick just does not cut it.
Okay. Well, I think, like you guys were saying, it's not just the magic; it's also them as a duo, and I think they have potential to. Do some really good stuff.
But this is the semifinals.
Yeah, sure.
They should have been like this in their first audition.
Sure. Okay. I see what you're saying. Well, let's talk about Dan Natterman, the comedian who apparently is single and keeps making jokes about his dating life. I wasn't that impressed. Sorry, guys. He wasn't that funny to me. I miss Taylor. Taylor? All right.
That's Taylor Lautner, by the way.
No.
So, yeah, I agree with Kaori. I don't think he was really that. He was just a quirky little... I mean, he was a character, and it was okay. It wasn't... Yeah, and even if you notice, the audience really wasn't laughing that much. Like, it was kind of just an awkward kind of laugh here and there. There was, like, one thing he said that I did laugh at. I'm not going to lie. But other than that, it was just really just... blah.
It was almost like there was like a light saying applause, please.
Exactly.
The audience was like, all right.
Exactly.
But
it was, yeah, it was.
I thought he was very funny. I liked his jokes. I don't think he's the best comedian out there. He's certainly not the worst. I thought it was very entertaining.
Worst, but...
I would go see him. I like him. I'm a fan of his. But again, I feel like that he gets heightened with the mediocre show that we had tonight.
Sure. And, honestly, in this particular season, he is one of the better comedians that came through. Like stand-up comedians.
Yes, but there were only 2 stand-up comedians that
I'm sure there were more that we haven't really seen.
But that's what I'm saying. That we saw.
Yeah.
I thought that there's only been 2.
Well, the other one was the chick.
Darren.
See, there was a chick.
I think he went through.
One. The one that was kind of like Angela Hoover, but
Wendy Liebman?
Yeah, her.
No, you all know how I feel about Wendy Liebman.
She's also a comedian.
No, I said good.
How do you feel about Wendy, Daniel?
I'm not doing a solo rant to the camera again right now. I am tired. But by the way, apparently, according to the website, she's a wild card and she's coming back. So guess what? I'm not.
It's all a mystery.
Hey,
But I'm saying good comedians.
Okay.
I felt like there were two, like last season they had Angela and they had Taylor. They had some other comedians, but Angela and Taylor I thought were miles ahead of the comedians they had here now.
Yes, I
but
agree.
I do like Dan Netterman. I just don't think that if you put him in a stand-up competition, I feel like he would finish in the middle.
Yep, I agree. Okay, good points. Let's talk about Ariel animation. She's an aerialist / teacher. You know what? The first couple
It was
times,
disappointing.
or the first time I saw her, I was quite impressed with
Yes.
her. It was pretty neat. It was different. This time around, it was slow. She added a dude in there. I didn't even understand what was going on. I think there was a couple mistakes. That's something obviously I can't confirm. It wasn't that good. I just was like, oh man, at this stage, this should have been better than her previous acts, and they weren't. It was probably her worst one that we've seen on TV.
I agree. When the show started and they showed who's coming on, I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited now. That was one that I actually was tonight, wanted to see, and I just thought that it was not up to par with a lot of her other stuff. There was a lot of kind of standing and waving at things and shooing things and blowing kisses. There wasn't a lot of having fun with the screen as much as she has before.
Yeah, it felt very technical, but it also felt, again, slow.
Right.
So I hear you.
And then I don't know if it was either the camera or part of her act, but there was a part near the beginning when she fell off her horse and she goes down to the bottom of the screen, and for like 15 seconds you don't see her.
Yeah.
And there's nothing going on.
Because she's getting onto the tall man.
Right.
Yeah, which is just, I don't know. It just didn't work out for me at all.
Kev.
Kev, time to talk.
I like how you guys both call me Kev.
Well, that's your new name. Kev.
Kev?
Thank you.
Kev.
Dan. So anyways,
Dan Noodles are really good at P.F. Chang's. Anyways, yes.
Listen, Kokor.
That didn't even work.
Coco.
all right,
Cow.
back to Kev.
Okay. Back to Kev.
I thought it was interesting. You know, my thing is, I understand when acts they use the screen behind them to tell a story, and they're Did you
just save yourself from yawning talking about her?
Was that?
I thought you were about to yawn while you were talking about her.
Oh no, I yawned beforehand.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I understand when you're using the screen because you're telling a story and your actions correlate to what's going on with the screen. I think it's interesting, but it just wasn't that interesting tonight with this particular performance. And I felt that, you know, if she had like maybe, I don't know, say like Sons of Serendipity on the screen in the background playing.
You mean?
Sons of Serendip, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You love them and you can't even get their name right.
You know why I messed up their name? It's
Because they're mediocre and forgettable?
No, we're not talking about you. We're talking about the fact
I'm lovely. People like me. Except for the ones online that hate me.
that is true.
We
Shout out-
read your YouTube comments.
We do. And shout out to all of you guys that are leaving us comments, whether good or bad, or giving us likes or dislikes, because those inspire and influence us to do what we do.
Yeah, so on those heels, why don't you guys continue to drop a
Please,
comment either on YouTube
let us
or
know
on
how much you
iTunes.
hate us on YouTube.
Dislike us, what you want improvement, or how much you love the show. Just
Give
keep
us some
it
love.
going.
Yeah.
You know, but try to be positive.
Stave off the haters.
Try to be positive. You know, we're
Let's
we're
fight
human.
the trolls.
All right, trolls. So we're kind of trolling some of these acts too. So
No,
all right.
we're critiquing. It's different.
Okay.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. You did it again. You just make us lose our train of thought.
Yeah.
You're like our wild card.
Yeah, Dan. Ooh.
Noodles.
Ooh. Go.
I'm gonna bring some Dan noodles next week so we can all just enjoy the show with Dan noodles.
I would eat some.
They're yummy.
Yeah.
Stop
all right.
talking about eating me.
No.
Okay.
These are noodles, not you.
You're a
Yes.
noodle.
You will not have any noodles next week.
I don't want them.
So last act of the night is Emily West. Her voice is beyond phenomenal. However, I do want to say this, and I know that we talked about this before when Brandon James came onto the show, is that she has experience. So she has a huge advantage compared to a lot of the acts in this particular show. Like Miguel Dakota didn't really have experience. For example, she actually had a duet with Keith Urban, and she was on the Billboard charts. She also was a country singer, and she was on the Billboard charts in 2008 before she was with Keith Urban. So she has a CD out already, and it just like really, this is, I mean, it just frustrates me that she has that edge. She doesn't need to be on this show to be successful. I mean, for me, that's already successful to be on the Billboard charts. Your thoughts on her? She's a good singer, really good singer, but.
Kaori, I 100% agree with you. You know, I think part of this show is discovering talent.
Yeah.
Discovering talent, finding unknown talent, and giving them a platform, a place to get exposure and to shine. And if you're doing songs with Grammy award-winning musicians and you're already established in the music business, I think that's kind of a disservice to the show. But I also think that's unfair to fellow contestants on there as well. She did a good job tonight. I'm not going to take that away from her.
She always does. I mean, she sang Chandelier awesomely last time.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and she's had releases, and she's been on like peak US at 41, 9, 41, 7. I mean, come on.
I'm shocked that they let her audition. I mean, there has to be some sort of rule. Like if you are a artist signed to a record label, you cannot come in,
and
you know.
Keith Urban, again.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh. All right.
That's kind of like freaking, like, you know, Mariah Carey auditioning for American Idol or something.
Yeah.
Even though she's not on Mariah Carey's level, but it's the same kind of thing. It's unfair.
All right.
Dan. Didi.
My name is Daniel. I thought she was fine. I agree with both of you. I think she's a good singer. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's not why I watch this show, for singers. I think she's a good singer. And like you said, there's a little bit of that feeling that, and whether it's true or not, because people struggle, and that's the truth. But whether it's true or not, it does feel like she doesn't need this show. She can go and have her own career without being on here, taken away from other people.
She's already been
having
signed
people vote
before.
for her. Now that it's a live rounds, having people vote for her that are already fans of her, that already have her CD and may have seen her in concert and had an opportunity to be exposed to her before these other acts. That is how it comes off. Whether it's true or not is, it doesn't matter. It's just how it looks.
Yep.
So that's how I feel about it.
Okay. All right, guys. Well,
Thank you,
that
Daniel.
You're
wraps
welcome.
up this particular
Madam.
talent showcase. Predictions wise, who do you think are going to make it through?
Emily West, I think
And
David
now,
Lehman
your
will go
AfterBuzz
through,
TV.
and the one guy that did the thing,
What one guy that did the thing? There's
the
plenty of guys
singer,
that did
Miguel.
You mean Sons of Serendip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Medel's gonna go through, and I think that
Medell.
and I think that Sons of Serendip are going to be playing in Kevin's mind all night.
Okay. Next.
Actually not. Who's going to be playing in my mind all night is actually Kaori and her dogs. So anyway.
Good night, everybody.
What? Okay.
Exactly. Shout out, Dog Day. All right. So
It is Dog
anyways,
It is a dog day afternoon.
Sons of Serendip, Emily
Okay.
West, and the dude, the freaking One Direction guy.
Miguel Dakota.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So all singers.
Yeah, I know. That is all
Yeah.
singers, huh?
Well,
It was
we don't
mostly
let you
all
choose, right?
singers.
Yeah.
I am going to say definitely
Mara.
Emily West. I think David and Lehman should go through because they're different, and please vote for them. They're pretty awesome. And also, Mike Super might go through, but he was a wild card, so
He was.
that might not happen anymore. Sons of Serendip. How about that?
There you go, Kaori.
Okay, and that about wraps us up. In the
Yes.
meantime, guys, we've got 3 more after shows for America's Got Talent left. We're getting really close to the finals. So, yeah, where can everyone find you guys in the meantime to keep tweeting nice things to you?
You can find me at the laundromat next week.
Nope.
You're right, you can't. I have laundry at my apartment complex. You can find me at It's Daniel Weiss on Twitter. You can find my improv group on Facebook, Doctor Who Live. We're coming to New York in October. Kevin!
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay.
That's pretty cool. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at HeyKevinJohn, or my website, www.itskevinjohn.com.
Why complicate things?
Because, see, if I say, I don't know. Because
just kidding.
KevinJohn.com was already taken.
Oh, okay.
So I had to do It's
How
Kevin
dare
John.
they?
I know, exactly.
Watch, it's not really Kevin John.
It's someone just pretending to
Someone
be
named John Kevin.
How dare they?
I know, so disrespectful.
You can find me on Twitter as well as Instagram at KAORIOUS. And we will catch you guys next week for another episode on AfterBuzz TV.
It's true.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Punch it, Chewy.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.